Vikings versus Seahawks at CenturyLink again. It's like every time we play the Seahawks, it's always in Seattle. In fact, I'm starting to believe that the Vikings, they don't even have a stadium. US Bank Stadium, it's all mirage. Whoa. Vikings are 1-3. Seattle Seahawks, they are 4-0. Sunday Night Football, let's talk about it. We'll start first with the Seahawks offense. Russell Wilson listed at 5'11", but he plays like he's 6'4". I'm so impressed with his vision despite his stature. So like a guy like Drew Brees, another short quarterback, before he throws, he lifts off of his heels onto the balls of his feet to get the extra inch and a half of vision above his natural height to make his throws. Russell Wilson, he keeps his heels planted in the ground and still has probably, he can see as well as any quarterback in this National Football League. And there's a calmness about how he moves around in the pocket. Deshaun Watson, he can move around in the pocket too, but when there's pressure, it's almost like a, oh fuck, Russell Wilson, when he moves around in the pocket, even when there's pressure in his face, it's it's almost like art. It's almost like poetry in a sense. And he makes sure when he moves around in the pocket before he takes off, he makes sure he protects the football, and then he moves around, and he's still accurate as hell. Speaking of accuracy, Russell Wilson right now is on pace to have his career best season in terms of yards and touchdowns. Now, I know that we're just a quarter of the way through the season so far, but right now, Russell Wilson is throwing 7 points higher in terms of a completion rate, 75% completion rate, which is 7 points higher than his current career best of 68% in 2015. He's accurate as hell, especially not just on the short passes, the checkdowns, the intermediate routes, but especially on the deep ball. You combine that with the playmakers that they have, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Greg Olsen outside of the Patriots game. He's been pretty decent for them. And don't sleep on David Moore. The Vikings need help, okay? The Vikings secondary, they need all the help that they can get. So if I'm Mike Zimmer, when it comes to the safeties on the back end of the secondary, all hands on deck. All the funnies that we like to do with Harrison Smith and move them up to the line of scrimmage and maybe at the second level at times, don't even do that. These cornerbacks need all the help that they can get, especially on those deep passes. Because if you leave these playmakers one-on-one, especially against Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, you're basically asking for home run plays to happen. The Vikings cornerbacks, they need to have last play amnesia, meaning that the Vikings are fourth worst against the pass. The Seattle Seahawks, they are going to make plays, and you have to accept that. At the same time, you can't let one bad play haunt you individually for the rest of the game. The opposite is true. Let's say you get a pass breakup here or even an interception there. You can't walk around all high and mighty, because then on the very next play, Russell Wilson, he will humble you. Their run game is very solid with Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde. They're 11th in yards per carry, the Seattle Seahawks are. And Chris Carson has some of the smoothest cuts in the National Football League. If you've ever played football, or in the case of people like me that haven't played football, but you did the insanity workouts with Sean T, there's the floor ladder workouts where you're basically doing shuffle movements or agility workouts, basically working on your footwork. And Chris Carson, let's say the running lane that Chris Carson was designed to run through isn't there. His cutbacks are so smooth, this pop, pop, pop before he moves forward. Their offensive line is much more improved than years past. I just think they just give up the occasional stupid false start penalties. Other than that, I think they're pretty solid. Bottom line, their offense is constantly playing chess. What you think they're about to do, they're going to do the opposite. So, prime example, the Dallas game. This was their third game of the season. And in the second quarter, 2nd and 1, it's very tempting to go for the run play. What did they do instead? Play action. Tyler Lockett off the snap release just did a quick out touchdown pass to Tyler Lockett. They're a screen heavy team. They're a play action heavy team. Even if they aren't doing design screens, Their check down options are almost always on the sidelines at the line of scrimmage. So it's not a screen design play, but if they break one tackle, it has the same effect. You have to be careful because they're a very, very tricky offense. And with the weapons that they have on offense, this can be dangerous. Next, we move to the Seattle defense. Bobby Wagner, Poona Ford, to some degree, Jerron Reed. I like how Shaquille Griffin battles at times, but outside of that, no one else really scares me. Now, Jamal Adams, absolutely, but he's already been ruled out for Sunday night, so he's not going to play against the Vikings. Now, against the run, Seattle, they're pretty nice. They're third best against the run in terms of yards per carry allowed, so I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, the run game is the heart and soul of this Vikings team with Dalvin Cook, but Dalvin Cook, he's been fantastic through the first 4 games. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if this is the comeback down-to-earth game for Dalvin Cook. Obviously, don't abandon the run, but if it gets shut down, if the Vikings are going to win this game, it's going to come down to Kirk Cousins. They're going to have to win this game on the shoulders of Kirk Cousins. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a replica of Vikings versus Rams 2018. Just air that bitch out because both pass defenses of the Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks is absolute Swiss cheese. Which quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes while at the same time is the most aggressive? The Seahawks, they have weapons on offense. So do the Vikings. Use your weapons. You've got Justin Jefferson. You've got Adam Thielen. You've got your tight ends. Utilize your tight ends. Even Dalvin Cook in the passing game is dangerous. I think before the season started, I predicted the Vikings to lose this game. I thought it was going to be a blowout. But the more that I look at this game, I still think the Vikings are going to lose. I think it's going to be a much closer game, and I think it's going to be a shootout of a game. I'm going to go Seattle 38-35. We always lose to Seattle. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll go Seattle 38-35. By the way, half of the Seattle Seahawks roster is on the injury report as of Wednesday, so it will be interesting to see how that develops. As of right now, the only player that is for sure ruled out is Jamal Adams, and that's a huge blow to the Seattle Seahawks. We do this 3 times a week, Mediocre Best Sports Podcast with Realistic Randy. Check me out on Twitter at realistic_Randy, Facebook at Realistic Randy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. People of Minneapolis, one of you will be selected at random to win a $25 gift card to Modest Brewing. I'm going to make a post on Facebook, facebook.com/realisticrandy, asking you for your thoughts on your final score predictions. Just reply with your thoughts, and one of you will be selected at random, let's say Saturday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's Minnesota time. So I'm going to make the post a little later today. Check that out. Reply with your thoughts. And then also we're going to be live streaming with live commentary and reaction during Sunday night's game on this YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out. I had a blast the first time doing it, week 1 against the Packers. Look forward to doing it again. We'll see you next time.